Well, are you anti-Semitic?
Absolutely not.
Do you turn around and say pig, pig, snort, and snort like that?
Absolutely not.
Was there a party at the Venutos where the Venutos did that?
I did it, Your Honor.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I told her she was a fat pig, yes.
These are the plaintiffs, Leo and Marie Gosser. They say the defendants, their neighbors, are out to get them. They even installed cameras and a security fence to protect themselves because 2 of their animals were shot and killed. One day they heard a loud bang and explosion and discovered the defendants shooting fireworks at their house. They severely damaged an awning and refused to pay for it, so they're suing for $3,551, the cost of its repair. This is the defendant, Jerry Scala. He admits he doesn't like his neighbors, the plaintiffs, at all. They're very odd people with a long history of causing trouble in the neighborhood. One night, he was shooting off bottle rockets with his son, but nothing even came close to their house. The cops even examined their awning and found no damage, so he's not giving them a thing. He's accused of causing a neighbor to ignite. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1 for harassment.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Everybody's talking about the Honorable Marilyn Milian, the hottest judge on television. Real cases, real litigants. Here in our forum, the People's Court.
Litigants once more.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Gosser, you are suing Mr. Scala for $3,551 in repairs that you say were required by his negligence. He is countersuing you for $1. Okay. It appears that this has been an ongoing dispute between all of you for quite some time now. You are the plaintiff, Mr. Gosser. Why don't you begin and tell me what's going on?
Thank you, Your Honor. On October 19th of last year, I was in my home at about 9:30 in the evening, and I heard something hit my roof, a noise on the roof. I went out to investigate, and I saw the defendant, Mr. Scala, and his children on their driveway. They were shooting off fireworks. He didn't see me because he continued to shoot the fireworks. And as the last one went off, I heard him say, direct hit. So he was aiming directly for our house.
Why would he do that? Have you guys had problems?
We have had problems, yes.
Okay.
We've had, for the past 4 or 5 years, we've had problems.
Really?
That is why we have installed a fence around the property. We've installed security cameras. We've been advised by the police to carry a tape recorder with us at all times to record events. It's a mess.
That's awful.
It is.
Who wants to live like this? So you claim you heard him say direct hit, and then what do you do?
Direct hit, and his children laughed.
And they laugh, and then what do you do?
I saw the rocket hit the house.
Where did it hit?
On my awning.
Okay.
As I was walking towards the house, I had my cell phone with me, so I was calling the police. Mm-hmm. The police came, went to his house, and they saw the fireworks on the driveway. They talked to him, apparently, and he...
So he didn't clean up the fireworks to destroy the evidence or anything?
No.
Okay. Was there any damage?
Yes, there was damage.
Where?
Now, the police came over and looked at the awning, and they saw the fireworks on the awning. At the time, it was dark, and we didn't see any damage at that time. Several days later, after a rainstorm, the firework washed off the awning, and I saw that there was a hole in the awning.
You say a few days later, there's a heavy rain, and it washes a rocket off, and then you notice damage?
Yes, then we saw that there was a hole.
But why would the rocket stop you from noticing damage? I mean,
apparently it was laying on top of the hole. I didn't see it.
And neither you nor the police figured out to maybe move it to see if there's damage?
No.
But the policeman was there. He saw the racket was on the awning.
Why are there all these problems? What started all the problems between you?
Prejudice.
Prejudice?
Yes.
Why?
They called me dirty Jew, pig, Middle East trash.
They called you, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. They called you what?
Dirty Jew, pig, Middle East trash. They make the sound of the pig when I walk. They remind me I'm a pig.
So from the minute you moved in, it was like that?
Almost from the minute.
So you were never friendly with each other?
Never.
So they just hated you because you were Jewish? And you
Jewish
moved
Middle
into
East
the
trash,
neighborhood.
and after the September 11, I became Middle East trash. And the two neighbors got together, so they feel like they're very strong to stick.
He's a neighbor also?
Yes. The other Mr. Venuto, he take a megaphone and in front of everybody when I go to the backyard, say pig, pig, like Jewish pigs, pig alert. And they're laughing, the Scala enjoy themselves. And this is way they educate the kids too. So it's just like, will be
Well, if that's
another.
true, that's awful.
I agree.
Your Honor,
I feel
Okay.
sorry for the children.
with regard to Mr. Venuto, we have...
Have you called the police on
Yes.
them?
Yes, we have a
Yes.
separate case
Many times.
pending against
How many
them.
times?
Half a dozen? I'm not sure.
Half a dozen would be 6 times.
Yes.
Do they call the police on you too?
Yes.
For what?
I really don't know.
Why are they so mean to you? You say it's just because you're Jewish. There's no other
hate
reason.
us. They hate us.
Is there any other reason that caused a problem between you folks?
It's combination, not only Jewish. I'm from the Middle East.
Right, Middle East and Jew. All right,
They
let me
call me
go
Middle
to
East-
you now. I'm going to come
Middle
back
East
to you in a
trash.
second. Mr. Scala, what's going on here? What's your version of this?
I think it's despicable that they would accuse me of being anti-Semitic. I have numerous friends and business associates that are Jewish that I have
Some of
very
my
good...
best friends are Jewish, right?
Many of them are.
I know.
And
There's no other way to
this
say
is
that, but go ahead.
way out of bounds.
Well, are you anti-Semitic?
Absolutely not.
Do you turn around and say pig, pig, snort, and snort
No.
like that?
Absolutely not.
Was there a party at the Venutos where the Venutos did that?
I did it, Your Honor.
Oh, you did.
Yes, I told her she was a fat pig, yes. I was tired of my family being woken up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning by the roosters that they keep in their backyard, and numerous requests to them to do something about it so we wouldn't be woken up, and they refused to do it. And what they say is incorrect, that they were never friendly when we moved in. They've been over my house several times. They've been to Mr. Scala's house several times for parties when they first moved in. I have a picture here of Mrs. Gosser with my son. I think you could say she appears to be smiling, as my son is. They were very friendly with us. It all
Is this
started...
you with his son?
Your Honor?
Is this you with
Yes,
his
ma'am.
son?
Yes,
Well, look,
but not as
And
friendly.
who took the picture?
My wife.
It doesn't appear that she's very upset that he's touching someone who's Jewish. Go
I
ahead.
say it's after September
Honor?
Just a
11.
second, ma'am. Just a second. No. You said from the beginning they've hated us because we're Jewish.
No.
And I take very seriously someone playing the
They
race card in my
hated-
courtroom.
they
All right?
hated us.
Just a second, ma'am. Go on.
Your Honor, it started, as I said, they about a year and a half after they moved in, and they started to maintain peacocks. They had 3 peacocks that they were keeping as pets.
Okay.
And eventually the 3 peacocks, however, turned into 17 peacocks.
17?
Yeah, there were 17 peacocks roaming around. There was peacock excrement, around the front of the house,
Excrement?
the walkway. Excrement,
The
thank you.
peacocks were pooping all over your
poop,
property.
Yeah, all over the property. And it was turning into a real problem. Spoke to him several times. He kept saying, well, chase them away with a hose. They're not mine. There's really nothing I can do about it. We got a call one night from them. It happened to be, it was Yom Kippur, as it turned out. Anyway, my wife had come home from work at 6 o'clock at night, as she had for the past month or two, and she picked up a bunch of peacock poop from the front walkway where you come in our front glass doors, and picked it up and threw it onto their driveway.
She did?
Yeah, threw it on their driveway. At 11 o'clock, the cops came to the door. And the cop told me that they had already been to their house, and they were accusing us of a hate crime. He said it's a holy day in their religion, and they're accusing you of a hate crime.
Well, I don't know if it's a hate crime, but it's certainly nasty. And it's
Oh,
almost
sure.
as the only thing that's more nasty than that's come out of your mouth is, yes, I called her a fat pig. I mean,
Yeah.
And yet, did you take a microphone at a party and say fat pig, oink, oink? When she...
No, it wasn't a party, no.
Did you
But I
take a
did have
karaoke
megaphone.
machine somewhere and have a...
No, a megaphone,
A
yes.
megaphone? I mean, what kind of example is that you're setting for your kids?
I don't believe my children were there when I did it.
You know what? Live your life as though your children are watching you the whole time. Okay? Because they pick up more than you think, pal. They do.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. Who do you think started this neighborhood war? We'll find out as the testimony continues.
Yeah, what? It better be good.
It's good. They had 46 police calls when they lived in Tampa before they moved to Parkland.
What?
One of them involved anti-Semitic complaints somebody tried to kill
Give me
them, and one involves somebody shooting fireworks at their house.
The defendant's witness admits he called the plaintiff a fat pig, and his wife threw peacock poop on the plaintiff's driveway. The plaintiffs say the root of this is anti-Semitism. Let's listen.
Give me the synopsis of where this problem ended up going. What happened with the peacocks? Did you ever get the authorities involved?
Yeah, the city, we finally started going to city commission meetings, and finally the city forced them to pen them, told them they had to pen them on their property. 3 days after they did that, they went out and got a rooster and a hen. And the rooster
There was no rooster and hen before that?
No. They went out and got a rooster and a hen and told 2 of the other neighbors, if the Venutos and the Scalas don't like peacocks, let's see how they like a rooster crowing in the morning.
Is that true?
No.
Did
no,
you have
Your
a rooster
Honor,
and a
this
hen
is
before the
totally different
peacock?
story.
Why didn't you tell me about the
Yeah,
peacock issue? Then?
Because I didn't know we are for this, we are for the awning. But
No,
I've been
but
wondering
I
what-
see, here's what the problem is. I can't decide a case in a microcosm of one moment. I want to know if this is a truthful allegation or not. Because as I understand it, do you dispute that you were throwing off fireworks that day?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you dispute that one of those fireworks ended up in his awning?
I dispute that fact because one did fly towards his house, but it hit a tree on the property line, and where it went after that, I don't know.
So you contest whether it actually hit the awning, and whether it hit the awning or not, you contest that there was actual damage as a result of it. Do you have pictures?
Your Honor, I have the awning with the burn mark in it, the
Okay.
hole in it. I have pictures.
From the side of the house?
Were these pictures taken before or after the awning?
This is afterwards.
So this is the replaced awning?
Yes.
Yes.
Normally what people do to prove up a case is they take a picture of the damage in its spot. They take a picture of the damage before it gets fixed.
No, we
And
did
they
not.
usually say, hey, how are you going to fix this? Now, Mr. Scala, tell me your tale of woe. Were you complaining about the peacocks also?
Yes.
Were you part of, did you join forces with Mr. Venuto to get the city to do something about it?
Well, yeah, my family initiated the complaints about the peacocks, and so that was our big problem, because they were allowing these peacocks to roam free. We did get the peacock issue solved. At that point, we received a registered letter, which I have a copy of here, that I'll read a quote from. This is from November 22nd, 2001. Mr. and Mrs. Scala, we request that you refrain from having your children play on our property. We cannot be held responsible for them. We appreciate your cooperation. And we were concerned. We thought this was a possible threat to our children. And so my lawyer wrote a letter back to them and copied the police chief, the mayor, and the city commission, advising them of, there's a potential problem on this neighborhood. Keep an eye on us, because we're concerned about our safety and our children's safety. So, would you like a copy of that? There's a copy of the letter that went to the police chief and whatnot.
Who is this person, a friend of yours?
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine. I met him the day I moved to Florida. He was my neighbor, and he's
Mark
been my...
Sham?
Yeah, he's been my...
Is he Jewish?
Yeah. If you read the letter, it says...
I saw it.
Yeah.
It goes into a lot of stuff, but one of the things that it says is, that he's concerned about the letter because you're wrong. You can be held responsible if you have an attractive nuisance on your property, such as peacocks. But anyway, that's all water under the bridge because the whole peacock thing was taken care of. But in here in the last paragraph, one of the things that Mr. Sham says is, I have also been, and he says in the beginning, I am a former neighbor of theirs as well as a longtime friend. And I represented them in 1989 when they purchased the vacant lot on which their home now sits. I have known them as ethical, respectful, and peaceful people. At the end, he says, it was related to me that you have accused them of being anti-Semitic. I assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. For your information, I am Jewish, and I know the Scalas enjoy both friendships and business relationships with other Jewish people. You have divided the neighborhood and caused stress among what was a very peaceful neighborhood. In any event, we've got, let me tell you what concerns me. I'm looking through this file, and do you know how many times? There are 58 phone calls from your house to the police against your neighbors. Not half a dozen, 58. And there's obviously some real problems going on here, but yeah, what?
Your Honor, can I
It
just
better be
interject?
good.
It's good. They had 46 police calls when they lived in Tampa before they moved to Parkland.
What?
One of them involved anti-Semitic complaints. Somebody tried to kill
Give me
her.
that.
And one involved somebody shooting fireworks at their house.
Come on.
No, it's not true.
Well, it's right there.
Fireworks?
It's not true. I didn't print it.
Our house? Never.
Do you have any friends in this neighborhood?
Yes, very much. Your Honor?
Just a second, stop talking. Who was this sent to you by?
Former neighbors that lived next door to them.
Did those neighbors have a problem with?
A $250,000 lawsuit, yes,
For what?
for a brick wall that the neighbors constructed down their property line, which the Gosses lost the court case and subsequently moved to Parkland.
23 phone calls to the police in the last neighborhood that you lived in. You saying that they're threatening to kill you, that they're yelling at you, that you're reporting a hate crime, vandalism, that you think they're anti-Semites. When you lost that case, did the judge order you to pay the other side's attorney's fees?
Yes.
Yes.
How much?
Was about 15,000 or so. I really, I
Did you
wasn't
pay them?
prepared.
Yes.
Because for the judge to order you to pay the other side's attorney's fees, they have to be pretty upset. They have to feel that this was a frivolous lawsuit. It upsets me because I am not sport.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin outside the Times Square Visitor Center. Do you buy the plaintiff's claims that they are the victims of anti-Semitism?
No, they're frauds.
What do you say?
I'm saying he's a fraud because he's a grumpy neighbor and he's not happy anywhere he lives.
Why else?
They made the same claims. They made the same claims back in Florida, and they're trying to do it again. They're schemers. They want some money.
Okay. Okay, not a lot of sympathy down here. Going inside the courtroom, here's the judge.
When I've got a file this thick of tons and tons and tons of animosity where you're calling and you have a history of these problems, and you have a history of saying, and they're all anti-Semites because I'm Jewish and I'm Middle Eastern, so everybody's an anti-Semite and everybody else is lying. And then we see that, in fact, not only did you have the same problem in your last neighborhood, but you sued somebody and then they sued you, they got their attorney's fees paid for by you to the tune of $15,000 because the judge ends up finding that your suit is totally without merit, that it was done to harass. And now here we are, we're in a new neighborhood that previously got along just fine, everything was happy, and now you have the same stuff happening again. And it sort of looks as, what it does is it lends credence to what Mr. Venuto says another neighbor told him, that you got the rooster and got the hen for one reason only. Because this is your sport. This is your favorite pastime. Because when I look at a report and the report says there was no damage, he said there was no damage in the daylight. He and I looked at it at night and there was no damage. And then you say, oh, this is the damage that there was. I'd see that. If there was a casing sticking up like that, I would see that. And then I'm looking at this, which looks like it's completely, totally never been touched. See, what I'm concerned about is that this is a piece of fabric from the new awning, because you know what? This looks totally unblemished. See? This doesn't look like it's been on your roof for a long time. And then a perfectly round hole as though it was made with a cigarette. Not only that, but you know what, pal? This has the folds. It has the folds from the fabric. It upsets me because I am not sport. I am busy. I am ruling on real cases for people with real problems. I am not your chance to harass the neighbors more. And now here we are with a countersuit for $1, which is really a gesture, is it not? It's not an effort to, profit. It's not an effort to ching-ching, let that cash register ring. It's an effort to send a message. Judge, they're harassing us. Please send a message and issue a verdict for $1. I issue a verdict for $2.
Plaintiff loses this case, and they lose on the countersuit for not $1 but $2. Step right in here, ma'am. Come on in a little bit closer here. Step right in here. You did most of the talking in there. Does the judge hate you too?
We are very respected members of our community.
They didn't give us an opportunity to talk about it.
Why it seems like everybody's against you.
Not everybody. It just happened, unfortunately, twice. We have friends and neighbors for 30 years. We're very, 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 very good friends. As a matter of fact, we stay in their house now, too. Right. So it's not true.
Can you stay in your own home and relax? Is there relaxation in your own home? Or
Not much. No? No, that's why we have a fence and security cameras.
All right. That's it for now. You just head right down that way.
Thank you.
Douglas will be with you momentarily. Come on over here. So you do win this case. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You satisfied?
Yeah, I respect the judge's opinion, and I hope that they'll just ignore us. I just ask for peace. And I agree with the judge.
You think it's over?
Well, I hope so. I hope we can maybe let people know what they're really all about now.
All right, let's go over to Harvey in Times Square.
Okay, Kurt, judges can look at past conduct. If there's some kind of a clear pattern that might explain their present conduct, that is precisely what happened here. When you watch this case start to finish, there is no doubt that these people have made the same type of claims. It feels like their MO, and it feels like the real victim here is the defendant. And that is going to do it for this case. The litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.